Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk today about World War II South African fighter pilot and anti-apartheid activist Sailor Malan. His first name is Adolf, but the first name is misleading. He's in no way like Adolf Hitler. Okay, that's why we don't stereotype anybody, including stereotyping names, because Adolf Malan fought in the Battle of Britain, and he shot down 15 Nazi airplanes, and he changed the formation of the British planes to where the British were able to shoot down the Nazis more effectively. And he has the nickname Sailor because when he was young, he enlisted in the South African Navy, but he was able to legally transfer to the South African Air Force when he was 25, and he learned to fly. But when he got out of the South African Air Force, he was elected chairman of a group called Torch Commando. Name's a little bit misleading. They did not engage in very few, if any, violent activities, but a lot of the marches they did were conducted at nighttime, and they marched with torches. But it was an organization of about 250,000 South African World War II veterans, and they protested the apartheid rules. And not until 1948, it wasn't officially apartheid, but there were a lot of racist policies that happened. There were some coloreds in South Africa from Cape Town. They're called the Cape Coloreds, people of mixed race that were allowed to vote, but the South African government after World War II was trying to strip away their voting rights and make sure they never got them back. So Torch Commando conducted a march and challenged what the ruling South African Party was doing. The ruling party from 1948 on was called the National Party, and the National Party in 1948 officially established apartheid. Now, there were white opposition parties to the National Party, and almost all of the white opposition parties were headed by veterans of the South African military. Some of them, many of them that were veterans of World War II or Korea. And Adolf Malan was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and he passed away while apartheid was still going on. And the South African government, the National Party, would not give him a funeral. They would not give him a state funeral because of his anti-apartheid involvement. And I really think that's a snub, and it's a disgrace. And we need to remember Adolf Malan. He shot down 15 Nazi planes in the Battle of Britain, but he went on to fly in other campaigns, and he shot down at least 30 Nazi aircraft, maybe even 36. So he was definitely a hero and a patriot, and always stood up for what was right, and he always felt convicted to stand up for what was right. Because when he fought with the Royal Air Force in the Battle of Britain and in other campaigns, he fought with this one guy from India who he fought with this one guy from India, and he fought with people of all races and colors. That was not always a situation like that in World War II, but for the South African veterans, it was. A lot of times, mainly because one of the South Africa's key campaigns was in the East Africa campaign to help Ethiopia fend off the Italian invaders. And in that specific campaign, Ethiopians fought alongside white South Africans, white British, Free French fighters as well. That was a rarity for World War II, but it did go on. So, anyways, God bless Sailor Malan for all he did. And honestly, like, his distant cousin, whose last name was Malan as well, was one of the key figures in the National Party and a key pro-apartheid figure. But Adolf Sailor Malan chose to stand against apartheid and stand against his distant cousin. So anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Take care. God bless, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.